Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I got a 2001 Mercedes E430. I have an air conditioner leak in here somewhere. I have a refrigerant leak. I was going to show you various ways to find the leak here if you don't have access to one of these sniffer tools. It's a Tex refrigerant. I was going to go around with soapy water. I was going to charge it with air and go around with soapy water and look for leaks, but on this car it's too tight to get to the condenser. You can't really see much of it. The compressor is pretty much buried in here. I think it's going to be a bitch to change a compressor on here if the compressor's leaking, because I can't get it out through the bottom. I got the Mercedes program. They said you can remove it from the bottom. Not on this car. The only way I could see that this is going to come out is I would have to remove the power steering pump, get that out of the way, and hopefully get down in there and get it out that way. What I'm doing is I hooked my manifold gauges up on here, my gauge manifold. The low side port is right here. That's always your blue one. I didn't even hook up the high side now. I have this closed because I'm just trying to pressurize the system. I'm using dust off instead of R134A. I've run this on a couple of my other vehicles. It works fine. It is less detrimental to the environment. I don't think it depletes the ozone layer at all. If it is a greenhouse gas at all, it's much shorter lived than R134A. I don't know why the government didn't have the car companies go with this as the new refrigerant, other than they wanted to regulate it and have control with licensing and all this other shit. It was probably a money deal and lobbying and all the other flim-flam that goes along with politics and money makers. But I run this in my cars and it works. It actually gets colder than R134A. I'm letting this fill up. You got to go slow when you're filling it up. You don't want to get a liquid buildup. You can destroy your compressor that way. There still isn't enough pressure to activate my compressor. The pressure must be too low in the system itself. I may have to put another can in, or another half a can at least. This is a great tool from Napa. I'll find out the name of it. You can use it on all different size cans. It has these plastic pieces that go on. You can open them or close them to fit just about any size can of refrigerant on there. I'll find out the name. I've got the wrapper in the basement. So I'm going to be charging this up, and then I'm going to go around with this detection tool. I'm hoping the leak is not in my evaporator, because that entails pulling the whole dashboard out to replace that. You can find these online very cheap. I will post a link for this as well, either on eBay or Amazon. You can find them. I've tested it on this refrigerant and it does go off. So I'll see if I can try to film as I check for the leak. Compressor's still not kicking on. Let me make sure I have both of my thermostats, my controls set to low. Yeah, there's a pressure sensor switch in here. If the system is low, the compressor won't kick on. To protect the air conditioning system, that it doesn't keep running if you have a severe leak and you lose all pressure. Yeah, I don't have much pressure in the system at all. I'm gonna have to get another can of this. I'm trying to use the least amount of refrigerant as possible because I don't want a leaky system dumping this stuff out in the air, you know. Let me go get another can. I'm not gonna bore you to death with my filling this. There's not all that much to see. When you are doing this, you want to look at that sight glass and see the liquid boiling off. You don't want to be pumping straight up liquid in there. You got to make sure it boils off in there, because if you pump solid liquid in there, liquids are not compressible. You will destroy your compressor. So let it go in slow. You can see it boiling off. I hope you can see it boiling off. Try putting a flashlight on here. It is boiling off in there. Still not kicking on. Maybe if I hit the frost. That was just a little bit left in that can. I have another partial can. I guess I gotta go get that one. All right, I put enough refrigerant in here that this thing should be kicking on. I'm wondering if it set a code that's keeping it from not activating. So I've hooked up my Autel, I think it's a MS906 Maxi Sys, to the 38 pin connector. I'm gonna run this through a scan and see if I come up with any codes. Well guys, I feel like I'm doing a useless video here. I tried the soapy water thing. I couldn't get that to work, but I did get an alarm on my detector. This thing, I'll show you how it starts to beep. The beeping speeds up. It did go off around the compressor, and it went off around where the suction port was, the suction line. Let me get a flashlight so you can see. This is the low side right here, the blue one. That's your suction port. The high side is, where is it? It's up in the front here. I believe it's under this cover. Yeah, it's under this cover here. That's where the high side is on a Mercedes W210, on the E430 anyway. But if you look down there, that's the suction side. It was beeping off down around there. So I believe both of those O-rings are probably shot. I'm gonna try getting O-rings. I think it was leaking out so drastically that it wouldn't even bubble. It was just blowing the water away. I pressurized it with compressed air, and the gauge just dropped right down. So I got a hard fault on my codes. It's saying coolant pump, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try the cheap attempt. I'm gonna try throwing a couple of O-rings at it and see if I can get a charge on it and hopefully have air conditioning again. So the two ways to do it is with water, soapy water. Look for the bubbles, or buy one of these cheap refrigerant detectors. They work. The cheap ones work, you know. So I don't know if that was useful to anybody. I will show you guys how to charge up your car with dust off. This stuff works fine. It's better for the environment. cheaper than 134A, R134A, and supposedly it runs colder. So I'm sorry that was somewhat of a flunk of a video, guys. I was hoping to do a better video for you, but hopefully when I get the O-rings, we can do a good video installing them. We'll get this charged up and hopefully have air conditioning, because I do not like a car in the summertime without air conditioning. This will be a 3-season car if I can't get the AC fixed in this. I'm not driving around in the Mercedes-Benz sweating my ass off. You know, I got another one there. That one, the E320. The AC blows nice and cold on that. I did do that with the dust off. I can find out the name of it, or I'll post the chemical in the description so you'll know what it is. You can look for it under other names, but it's that can there. So that's it, guys. Remember, take good care of your cars. They'll take good care of you when they feel like it. Stay safe out there. Have a good day, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye. Say goodbye to Honey. Honey's 14 years old. She's a tough little dog. She's like a Timex. Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. A little diabetic. Take care, guys. She's the mascot. Coco's the couch potato. She's inside already. Too much sun. Oh, it's bad for her fur. Bye-bye. A thought, last minute thought. You know, if these O-rings are bad, I gotta figure out where the O-rings are for the expansion valve. And I don't know where the hell the dryer accumulator is on here. I got to try to find the dryer accumulator. So that's something we're going to be looking at in the next video. I think I have to pull this windshield wiper assembly out of here to get to the expansion valve back there. I see my 1AC line running that way. What the hell is that? Is that my high side? Let me see. Nope, that's my low side. That's my low side coming from the expansion valve. Now let's try to follow the high side. The high side is not on this side, is it? That's not the high side over there. Where in the hell is the high side hiding? I thought the high side ran right out of here. Let's try following this. Detective work. Right, that's my suction side, the one with that round cap on it. There goes my high side. It runs down there, down, loops up and around. It does loop up and around here. That might be the pressure sensor right there. That is the high side. There's the high side line right there. There's a pressure sensor switch, I believe, from the high side. Where the hell does it run to plug in? I plugged into it before. It's got to be under here. Need one of those body panel tools to open that. There it is. There's your high side port right there. I told you it was there. Right to the condenser. I don't know why they hide this stuff. They don't want you working on this stuff yourself. They want you to have to bring it to the dealership. That's why they hide it like that. Well, when I find it in my next video, I will post any other O-ring connections in there, because if those O-rings are bad, the odds are the other O-rings are bad as well. So I'm not going to replace half of the O-rings and have the system leaking. I'm going to do all of them and see if it works. If that doesn't work, then it's new compressor time. I'd rather have the compressor be bad than the evaporator leaking, because if the evaporator is leaking, you got to pull the whole dashboard out in this car, and that's a nightmare. I probably wouldn't even be bothered with that. I don't know. I probably would do it. I'm an idiot. I say I don't want to do things, but I do them. But listen, we got more videos coming. I got to put front springs on here, upper control arms. I didn't get that crappy stamped steel shit. I got forged upper control arms. They're an improvement over what's on there. I think the OE is that stamped steel, but I'm putting forged upper control arms in. I'm going to do the lower ball joints while I'm at it, and the 2 front springs. So the car should be riding and handling better after that on its new Continental tires. I got those, I think they're Pure Contacts. Good tire. Yeah, Pure Contact. They ride real nice. Super quiet, great in the rain. I like them. So if you got a Merc, you might want to consider the Pure Contact Continental tires. They're highly rated and they got good tread wear. Oh, and get your tires at Discount Tire Direct. I got a $70 Visa coming back on these, so there was a promotion on them, and you can find that often on Discount Tire Direct. So trying to save you guys a little money. So for that, give me a like and subscribe. If you take that little tip I gave you, save money, and you don't subscribe, you're a fucking scumbag, straight up. All right guys, take care. Bye bye. This was that tool I was telling you about from Napa. It's called Cold Power Side Can Tap. All right, that's the tool. Very handy. Fits every size can of refrigerant. All right guys, I'll still try to find a link for it.